How much input should the quarterback have in organizational moves? Veteran quarterback.
Yeah, I think it depends on who it is. I
Well,
think,
how about you? How much do you have any say in what Seattle does offensively with free agents or draft picks?
uh, I think that it's, I think that ultimately for me personally, I think that I want to be able to be involved because at the end of the day, it's your legacy, it's your team's legacy. It's the guys you get to go into the huddle with. And at the end of the day, that those guys you got to trust, when you think about, one of the reasons why Tom went to Tampa was because he felt like he could trust those guys and Bruce was going to give him an opportunity. I think for, every situation, you have to be able to go into a situation. You think about guys like LeBron, he was able to, be around great players that he can trust. I think for me, anytime you bring free agents in, are the players, you want the best players, guys who love the game, guys you want to be a part of that. And as a player, you kind of know that you get to be around Pro Bowls, you get to kind of see these guys, you get to be in the huddle with the linemen or receivers, or, get to be around defensive guys. And so you kind of build that over time and get to see who can really play. As a player, you really know. So I think that relationship's really key, and that dialogue between, especially being a veteran player, that dialogue is really important.
Yeah, but that's a long-winded way of not answering my question. Are you involved in personnel decisions? Have you been involved in personnel decisions?
Not as much. I don't, I think that,
Do
for
you want
me,
to be involved, Russ?
yeah, I think it helps. I think it helps to be involved more. But I think that dialogue should happen more often, in my opinion.
Yeah, but look, I'm worried about these numbers. You've been sacked 394 times in your career. So you're going to be the most sacked quarterback in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think that, sometimes you hold on to it a little bit, just because you're looking for that play and you find those guys, but also so many times those turns into touchdowns too. But, you never want to be sacked that many times. 400 times basically is way too many. 400 too many. So I think it's a big thing that we got to fix. That's got to be fixed, and has to be, at the end of the day, because my goal is to play, 10 to 15 more years. And so when you think about that and longevity and legacy and all that, and you watched the game the other night, the difference between that game was, Tom was taking shots down the field and getting the ball, to his guys and stuff like that. But, he wasn't touched really. He got touched. I think he got sacked one time in the game, early on, but, throughout the
And
other,
this doesn't even count, Russ, how many times you were hit. I mean, that's 394 sacks. Like that's a lot. And like
I think you also get away quite a bit too, I get away some too,
you do, but that's a lot
but
though.
I think that, we got to get better up front. I think that, and it's not just passing. I think, in terms of everything you do, it controls the game, as you watched the other night. I think, and obviously guys like Dwayne are such amazing players, and to have him come in was a big thing that I really wanted to make sure that happened. I think that we all wanted to make sure that happened because we knew that what a great player Dwayne was, for example. So, so I think that, throughout the next 10 years, it's really important for me personally, but also just, throughout, my career that, we make sure that we do everything we can, including myself, do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen.